Don't look now, but the Houston Texans are into the divisional round of the playoffs, but here come the one-seed Ravens. We'll talk Texans-Ravens next on DJ Football. He is the NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah. I am Ryan Brown. This is DJ Football. We've got divisional round action in the NFL playoffs. We'll talk AFC playoffs right now with Baltimore playing host to Houston, the one-seed Ravens, the road team Texans at mybookie.ag. Right now, Baltimore, a 9.5-point home favorite. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND when you sign on to get that sign-on bonus you can use right away at mybookie.ag. What is up, DJ? Welcome to the divisional rounds of the playoffs. How are you?
I know. I wish we could call it super divisional round. I mean, I think that the super in front of the wild card round really kind of spiced it up a little bit.
It pops, right? So much more exciting when we call it that.
Yeah. Well, how about what? So if this is divisional round, what's a D word we could use to describe the divisional round? Dynamic.
Dynamic.
Dynamic divisional round.
Very good. If only I knew somebody that worked at the NFL Network, I would tell them that's what we ought to call it.
Let's brand it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's brand it and go. We'll just make it our own. All right, so Houston, some surprise they were actually even in the playoffs. Not only are they in it, they're into the next round, and they're on the road at Baltimore. Tough game for Houston, obviously, but maybe C.J. Stroud is just young enough and naive enough to not feel the pressure. It doesn't look like he ever feels any pressure.
Yeah, the big stage has not been a problem for him. You know, you think about in college what he did in the Rose Bowl against Utah. My gosh, I think he threw for 500 yards in that game. You come back and watch what we did in that loss against Georgia on that stage. And then last week, Ryan, I never seen anything like that. I was asked kind of my thoughts on it. I said, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I've never seen a guy in his first postseason start as a rookie against a team, the number one defense in the league, and to carve him up like he did and to not have any lows. Like it was all just big time throw, big time decision. One after another. Like there were no lows. Normally with a rookie, it's like, wow, that was great. But then here comes the bad part. The bad part never came.
Yep. And he's got a legitimate number one receiver. He looks to a lot now in Nico Collins. I mean, I think one of the reactions coming out of that game is, my gosh, C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins combo has a chance to be a legitimate combo in this league for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, he's like that power forward type receiver, prototypical. The funny thing is, I'll take you behind the curtain. I'm watching the game and have my son who's home from college. He's 20. Right. He's a big NFL fan, and we're watching the game, and he goes, Ollie, Dad, the Texans are set with these rookie receivers. And I go, what? Like, Tank Dell's hurt. Like, who's the other rookie receiver? He's like, well, Nico Collins. I'm like, Nico Collins has been in the league for like 4 years. We just didn't have a quarterback, so nobody knew it.
That's right. He can't catch anything if he can't get to him.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. I mean, for a lot of people, though, your son was not alone. They're like, who is this Nico Collins kid? Wait a minute, he played at Michigan? Yeah. And yeah, I mean, he did. And to your point, he's had nobody throwing him the football. Now he's got a legitimate quarterback. You just see how good this kid is.
No question. And he's, getting vertical down the field. Then he's also in intermediate stuff, able to use his strength. By the way, he's almost got me taking Pilates, because I did hear during the broadcast, they said that he felt he got quicker and faster because he was doing a lot of Pilates in the off season. And I'm like, I just didn't know, like, am I going to feel goofy doing a Pilates class? Hey, Nico Collins is doing it, man. Why can't I do it?
What are you going to do with more quickness and speed? I mean, like, what do you need that for?
It's a fair question. That's a fair question. I'm convincing myself that all this stuff is going to help my golf game. I don't know if it's me running into the woods to retrieve my ball. I don't know how that helped, but somehow, yeah,
that's good. I like that. So Houston is on the road now. They also created some turnovers defensively, though. Joe Flacco looked very, very average. I mean, Joe Flacco had played so well for Cleveland, but they made him look like average Joe with all those turnovers. That defense under DeMeco Ryans and Chris Kiffin played very, very well in that game.
Yeah, and pulling up some of the numbers from them, getting ready for this game and looking at it, some things stood out to me about this defense with Houston, because obviously Stroud gets so much attention and he's been unbelievable. One of the best rookie, if not the best rookie quarterbacks we've ever seen. When you look at this defense, they're fourth in pressure rate, but they're 29th in blitz rate. So they are getting home. Will Anderson, led all rookies in pressures this year. They're getting home, and they're not having to send extra bodies. The other thing is, in terms of this matchup, and remember, they saw each other earlier this year. Game 1, Baltimore won, but Lamar didn't have a huge day. This defense, who's continued to get better as they get more familiarity, so many young guys playing, they've seen this Ravens offense, which is big. And the other part of it, in terms of this game, they play the 5th most zone of any team in the league, and they play the 4th most split safety. So what does that mean? That means you all have eyes on the quarterback. Yep. You have eyes on Lamar Jackson. Where does he rip off his 40-yard runs and break your back? When you're in man coverage back to the quarterback, he sees it, he goes, and you're in trouble. They don't do that. So if they can get home without sending extra bodies, that's the other reason Lamar can gash you. He'll gash you when you're a man back to the quarterback. He'll gash you when you send extra rushers and get caught out of position and he's got a crease. They don't do any of either of those things. So they're gonna make the Ravens have to earn their way down the field, which I think can kind of slow this game down a little bit, make it more of a fist fight and more of a low-scoring game.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson, in just a moment, there is one thing that has plagued him in his career. How can he finally shake that? We'll discuss that about the Ravens quarterback in just a moment. A reminder, MyBookie.ag brings you DJ football. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. They're so interested in you joining, they're going to give you free money. You sign on, you use code NEXTROUND, you get that sign-on bonus. Use it once, win with it. It is yours and yours forever. Not something you got to win 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. One time, yours and yours forever. There in MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. Right now, Baltimore, 9.5-point home favorite over Houston at MyBookie.ag. You can play that game with code NEXTROUND to get that sign-on bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Show also presented by Manscaped.com. Right here in my hand is the old handyman. Great travel razor. You could use it at home as well. It is a wonderful razor. Great usage right there at Manscaped.com. They got a bunch of great products, including the Beard Hedger. I use it all the time to keep my facial hair trimmed down. If you call this a beard, it's probably a loose definition of beard. When you say, DJ?
It's light. It's light.
It's scruff, a little scruff.
It wants to be a beard that grows up. It wants to.
It's dying to become a beard. I use the Beard Hedger to keep it trimmed down at Manscaped.com. You can get that. You get the Weed Whacker, takes care of the nose hair and the ear hair. The Lawnmower, which takes care of the full body, including the undercarriage, great boxer shorts, male body products, right there at Manscaped.com. And because you are watching or listening to DJ Football, you're going to get a great deal. 20% off your first order and free shipping with code DJF20. DJF20 to get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at Manscaped.com. If you know anything about Lamar Jackson, he has played MVP-level football all this season. He's won the MVP before. The one thing that plagues him, DJ, is his postseason record. It's not something people make up. It is a storyline for a reason. He has not been able to replicate his regular season in the postseason. What do you think is the biggest reason why, and how can he avoid that this year?
1-3 in the postseason. I was there for one of them. I think it was his first one against the Chargers, where the Chargers did not have any healthy linebackers, played all DBs, and the Baltimore Ravens decided they want to come out and throw the ball instead of running the football that day. So I don't put that on Lamar. The interesting thing is, as he's grown now and as he's got experience, I think in this particular matchup, I think they're probably best served to come out throwing the ball because he's never had this arsenal. Especially, look, they get Mark Andrews out there to go along with Isaiah Likely. What he's developed into, Zay Flowers as a rookie, he's been nails. He's been outstanding. Odell Beckham Jr. adding what he adds to the mix. I mean, he's never had this collection of talent around him on the perimeter. So I really think this is kind of one of those teams where they can come out throwing it and then kind of play backwards, throw it, and then be able to run the ball after they try and expand the defense a little bit.
Wait till your son finds out Zay Flowers actually is a rookie.
He is a rookie.
Yeah, he is a rookie.
Doesn't look like one.
No, he does not. He is a legitimately excellent receiver as a rookie. But, when you talk Baltimore Ravens football, you think physical run game and great defense.
Yeah.
And playing at home and what I'm sure will not be the most pristine weather for a dome team playing in Baltimore, you got to play to that defense and that physical run game too. I know you say you come out throwing the football, but they're kind of built around that physical defense too.
Yeah, the fascinating thing that should give Houston some hope here, and this is going to sound weird, this is the number one defense in the NFL and the Baltimore Ravens in terms of some of the most important statistics. I don't know, points allowed, pretty good.
That's pretty important stat, yeah.
16.5 points a game for this Baltimore defense. They're also first in sacks and takeaways, minor importance there with those. The good thing is now Stroud got sacked a bunch of times in that first meeting. It was his first start. This is an exotic looking defense. He's now seen it, so that's going to help some. He's now has so much experience from that first game to now. I think he'll get the ball out of his hands faster, so that'll limit those sacks. And the guy doesn't turn the ball over. So, the things that Baltimore does defensively that can help their offense in terms of short fields, negative plays, Houston, I don't see them, playing into that. So if Houston needs to turn this into a march the field game. Like you got to go 80 to score. We got to go 80 to score. We'll have a fair fight. But Baltimore's so good at starting at midfield, starting on your side, because of turnovers, because of negative plays, they can't get in that type of game.
If you're playing at Baltimore, it's going to be tough this time of year. The crowd's tough, the team is tough, and the weather can be tough. But I will say at kick right now, we tape on a Wednesday. The forecast is 26 degrees and dry. You could do a lot worse than that if you're playing in Baltimore this time of year.
Yeah, the dry part is huge. The cold you can deal with. CJ Stroud in Columbus, I know he's a Southern California kid, but at Ohio State, he had his fair share of cold games. So I think he'll be fine. He's a big guy, big hands. He'll be able to throw the ball fine.
Nico Collins, Michigan, so he's used to catching.
Yeah, they'll be fine. And Mechie has had the rough and tumble weather down there in Tuscaloosa that you're familiar with.
Hey, listen, as we tape this right now here in Birmingham. It's in the teens today, and I live in the deep south. Do not have to deal with the teens, and I know you are in San Diego, so you're incredibly soft. But it is frigid here today.
Well, I know this. Every year I go to the Senior Bowl, I could pack a Hawaiian shirt and a winter coat, and I don't know which one I'm going to use.
Oh no, it'll be 60 in 2 days. I'll be playing golf, but right now it's in the teens, and I hate it. That's why I don't want this weather. That's why I live in the south.
Yeah, no, but hey. In terms of weather, it was fun, watching some the breath and the cold. Even as somebody who's soft and who lives in Southern California, it's still cool to see it when it feels like playoffs, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Everybody says that's football weather, and I'm like, for me, football weather is whenever they'll play the game. Any weather they'll play a game in is football weather to me. I just want to watch it.
Fair.
So right now, Baltimore 9.5-point favorite at mybookie.ag. Code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Use code next round to get that sign-on bonus at mybookie.ag. Also, don't forget our other sponsor, manscaped.com. Code DJF20 gets you 20% off your initial order and free shipping there at manscaped.com. Right here at Disrupt the Media, same place you get this video. You can go watch our previews of the other AFC playoff game as Kansas City visits Buffalo, and one of the NFC games, Green Bay at San Francisco, as we enter the divisional round of the playoffs. Brock Heward and Lance Taylor breaking down other games there. Same place right here at Disrupt the Media. Please give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe at Disrupt the Media and set your alerts so you know when we drop content. He is the NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah, and this is DJ Football.